Hey everyone, it's Megan from InfoSec Institute. Thanks for your patience as I put together this video. I caught a death plague last weekend, which is why my voice probably sounds a little funny right now, and uncovered a few moderation bugs this week. I was hoping for one of those two things to be resolved before I made this video. Unfortunately, I am still sick and the moderation bugs are still there. The good news is the few bugs that are in place don't really affect functionality at all. They just make it a little bit harder to explain a few different features to you, but we should be all good to go for today's video. So let me get right to it. I want to point out a couple really obvious changes to you guys on the video right now. That is that we will be redirecting techexams.net to community.infosecinstitute.com. This is an attempt to kind of bring all of our web properties under our InfoSec Institute family of brands. Really good news here is that we are hiring a full-time community manager to manage the Tech Exams Forum. This should make the forum pretty great place to be. I know that you guys have been working hard to keep it clean, keep it professional, and of course, prevent all those exam dumps and that kind of thing. This person will help with that as well while looking for new opportunities for new categories, recruiting additional moderators to moderate the forums that we have, especially some of the new ones we just created, and look for opportunities to really kind of, engage the community with like sponsored polls, giveaways, that kind of thing. The fun part is we do have some budget to throw at this, so really looking forward to seeing how that all plays out, and I will be sure to introduce you guys as soon as we get that person hired. The other obvious thing is that we're being a little bit more apparent again with the InfoSec Institute brand here, making sure that people know who runs the forum, who sponsors it. Same thing with making it really obvious to everyone, so there's no question about who the forum is sponsored by, and if people want to look into us, they have those links handy right there. Training resources is the same as what was on the former Tech Exams Forum. This will go to resources.infosecinstitute.com. Again, there's just a helpful blog, lots of tutorials, articles on passing exams, that kind of thing. And then we will have a lot of the new categories up here front and center on the menu, as well as a flyout for some of our most popular certifications. I can't click any of these things right now to show you guys. These do not actually exist on the production site. They are on staging. The only bummer is that I can't actually push changes from production or staging to production. It's kind of like a quasi staging site. It's not an actual staging. So these will go live when we do the final migration, which is set to go next week, Tuesday the 13th. During that day, we will have the site down for maintenance as we populate the new forum with new categories, check permissions, make sure people can only see the things that they're supposed to see. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with how that all goes. So like I said, be down for one day. We will have a maintenance notification up on the site, so there should be no surprises for anyone. And the other big change is that we will turn email notifications on for all members. This means that if they have existing posts and someone comments, they will get an email from the new platform telling them to go check it out. This can be changed at the individual level. This is just the default that we're turning on for everyone once we do the migration. So if anyone's concerned or wondering why, all they have to do is actually go into their profile, edit their profile here, and update their notification preferences there. Pop-up are little in-ad pop-up notifications. Once we have the forum live, there'll be another column here called email. You can opt to have them checked for both or none. That's totally up to the individual user, and they control that. So back to the homepage here, I wanted to point out a few different things before we dive into moderation and what you can do with those tools. So the great news with the new vanilla platform is it's not really unlike any other forum platform you're probably used to, just with an updated look and feel. So you have recent discussions on the homepage here. If you scroll down, there's just all the other categories that get listed below it. We have an announcement section here. We can use this to announce new categories. Maybe we're sponsoring a poll or something like that. We can work together on what we want to put here. I've got some kind of dummy copy here. But this is probably not what we intend to use this for, right? It'll be more forum-related things moving forward. These links are more terms of service and things like that. Again, I can't show you what they link to. Those pages aren't exactly live right now, but they will be after the 13th. And then, of course, the typical standard corporate footer items like social media icons and copyright disclaimers and things like that. So the sidebar also has some interesting items, pretty standard forum type stuff, categories, recent discussions, activity. It's all exactly what it sounds like. The one thing that's not totally obvious, at least it wasn't to me, is best of. This is curated content that moderators and admins think is some of the best stuff on the forum. So you do that, anyone who's a moderator or admin can promote items by clicking the promote emote on the bottom of every discussion. I'll walk you through that later. But basically all it does is it pulls it into the best of section and makes it easier for everyone to find some of the best stuff that we've got to offer. And then, of course, unanswered is unanswered questions. To post a new discussion, people have the option to post discussions, polls, or questions. Those are exactly what they probably sound like to you. Everything's pretty much a WYSIWYG on the site, so that makes it really handy. They can pick the category. This is the same for questions or polls as well. As admins and mods, we have the option to make it sticky, but that won't show for most folks. So that's what that looks like there. And I just want to show you guys real quick. This is what a poll looks like on the forum. So pretty nice, pretty straightforward stuff here. This is what a question looks like on the site. In this case, I already went ahead and promoted it, which is why you saw it earlier in the best of category, and submitted an answer and accepted the answer. When someone accepts an answer, they mark it as best answer and it goes up to the top, probably like most platforms you're used to. So that's kind of a nice thing. I think that will be great for people who are posting in the troubleshooting forum and things like that. We also have a leaderboard here, and unfortunately this isn't category specific, it's actually site-wide. So it'll probably be the usual suspects here. I bet a lot of you already know who these people might be. I put in a feature request to Vanilla. I'd love to make this category specific. I think that can really elevate people and what they know best, and help people kind of get in touch with who knows has the most to offer probably on a subject. Like maybe it's a specific certification, maybe it's a type of technology, something to do with some of the new forum categories that we're creating. So other things to point out on the homepage are items in the top hat here. This is your notifications little item right there. If you click it, it will show anytime someone answers a question in response to your forum posts, any badge alerts, new badges that you may have acquired. That's another thing that the platform offers is badges, which there's a bunch of system defaults that we went ahead and preloaded, but we can get creative and crafty with these later on. So if you have ideas, please shoot them my way. This is your inbox. This is where you'll receive warnings. I've been testing a bunch of stuff, so this isn't actual real things, but if a forum moderator warns a user, they'll get notified this way. You have the option to include a message. So definitely take advantage of that tool. It helps people understand why they might be getting warned or banned or so on. So bookmarks here is really cool. So what this does is this little star you see here, you can bookmark things. This is kind of the vanilla equivalent to a follow. And so if we go back now to bookmarks, let's refresh, see if we get that to show up. It will show you all your bookmarks. This is a good way to keep on top of threads that are really interesting to you for whatever reason, maybe from a moderator perspective or just personal interest. So definitely use that if you can. It can also notify you that way that if anything comments on that, you can stay on top of what's going on. And then the little gear icon is settings. You're going to see a little bit more here on mine than you will yourself. It'll be a little bit more narrow, but essentially this is how you access your moderator dashboard, and we'll get into that a little bit later. This is a search function that searches the whole site, so this is a handy little tool right here. And I'm going to walk you through a few of the different views that we have. So obviously this is our home page. You can access all categories by clicking categories. You can access category here and then access all the subcategories under the category on those pages. So here is the subcategory view. Looks probably pretty familiar to you guys. And here is the discussion level view. So I pre-populated the discussion with a bunch of different comments so I can show you guys how the different settings work and the warning system works within the vanilla platform. So essentially, vanilla uses warnings to alert members of infractions, and this works on a point system. There are 3 levels of warnings that you as moderators and admins can use. A notice is 0 points. This is kind of like a hand slap, something that maybe you don't want to take a point away from a user, but you just want to warn them. Like sometimes we break rules, we didn't really know we were breaking a rule, right? The minor is 2 points. It expires in a week. So points accumulate and expire on an ongoing basis. So minor might be really your call. We have a whole bunch of different use cases outlined in the moderation guidelines, just to kind of really keep it professional, keep it clean. If it's not something that you would expect to see at work, it probably shouldn't be on tech exams. So use your best judgment on whether or not something should be a full out minor or major notice. And again, so there's notice, which is 0 points, minor, which is 2 points, and major, which is 3 points. So major warnings actually expire in 2 weeks, and that's a 3-point warning. So I would say anyone who is posting like racist or sexist jokes, that's obviously a pretty major offense. We don't need any of that on the platform. But again, please use your best judgment. You guys have been doing this very well for years, and I trust your judgment on these different individual things. So again, the big things to remember with the warning point system is that they do accumulate and they expire at different times. So the minor warning expires in a week. That's the 2-point warning. Major's 3 points expires in 2 weeks. And then members who receive 3 warning points, so that would be a combination of major and minor, or maybe like 2 majors, are actually jailed. And so what jailed means is a jail icon is overlaid over your avatar. You can't start new discussions. You can only post once every 150 seconds, and your signature is hidden. So the jailed icon is one of those things that is a bug. It's not working right now. The functionality still works. You just can't actually see the bars over the avatar, which is actually kind of funny. I would wish I could show you guys now. So with all this in mind, remember that if someone reaches 5 non-expired points, they will be temporarily banned. So give out those points, with some caution, knowing that you could ban someone for up to 1 month if they do receive 5 non-expired points at one point in time. So let me show you what this stuff looks like in the platform. The good news is point warnings can be reversed in the event that someone responds back to your warning with a legitimate reason. I'm not sure what that would be, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Or, maybe you just were having a bad day and you ended up banning someone, and in hindsight, maybe it shouldn't have been that harsh. We've all been there. So we have a few different ways that we can give out warnings and also moderate the forum for spam and abuse. So I'm going to switch gears slightly just to show you how to flag something as spam. You go ahead and do this by clicking the flag emote and submit it as spam. So because I am an admin here, they're going to get hidden immediately, and it will reappear or go never to appear again, depending on what mods and admins determine. So abuse, same thing. Go ahead and flag it as abuse. Abuse is really literal interpretation. We'll want to go ahead and watch these types of things. Abuse is something like posting an exam dump or outright cheating, that kind of thing. So again, as an admin, it's going to hide it right away, and as a mod, same thing. Warnings are less severe. So warnings are not less severe. This is what I was just going over, cough medicine. So here's how this works. You hit warn, and you'll have a few options here. You can choose to just give them a hand slap with the 0 points, a minor or a major offense. So a minor is 2 points, major is 3 points. It outlines it all right here for you, so you don't have to remember everything I just said, as far as the duration and actual point. So I'm going to say, you have been warned. And I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 3. Let's say it was something specifically bad. So bad. And go ahead and hit OK. And so I put another one to show you how to warn again down here, specifically because I want to show you guys what it looks like when someone is jailed. So we're going to warn again. And so to set off jail, remember it is actually 3 points. So the person is already jailed. Let's go ahead and ban them as well. Banned. Really bad. So the message to user, I want to point out, goes directly to their inbox. So make sure that you're also adhering by the rules of tech exams. So even if someone's a real jerk, right, keep it professional, stay above the fray, but do let them know why you're doing what you're doing. So go ahead and hit OK. So notice the change here. It's very obvious that the person is banned. This happens on everyone's avatar, so everyone knows what's going on in the community if someone is actually banned. And remember, in this instance, it's a temporary ban, and it only lasts for 1 month unless I revert it as in the moderation panel. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and report it. So reporting is less severe. Reporting will bring it to the moderator's attention as something like, hey, maybe you should check this out. I think this might be cheating, so you should check this out. And we're going to send it in as a report. So if any accumulation of users on the actual forum, 5 of them flag it and report it as one of those 3 things, or just generally, that will bury the post. And so here's what that looks like. This is a buried post. So it's not like the spam or abuse. It doesn't take it out of the discussion, but it makes it easy for people to, scroll over. So you can still see it if you want to. But in this case, it was hidden on first glance, which is kind of nice because there's a little bit of self-regulation happening there. If something is offensive and it wasn't brought to the moderator's attention for takedown or what have you. With off topic, it works similarly. If 5 people do this, it buries it. And it also takes some points off the reputation of whoever posted it as well. So that's nice. So let me go back and show you guys what the moderation dashboard actually looks like, because we just submitted a whole bunch of stuff. And for this, I'm actually going to switch over to my other account so I can show you guys what it looks like as a moderator and not just an admin. So this is the new spam and moderation queue, not new, but updated with the things I recently reported. So this was the one that we went ahead and reported as spam. One sort of downside of the spam queue in vanilla is you can't click the post that was actually submitted within the spam queue dashboard. It's a little clumsy, but if you really want to know what it is, or you're not totally certain from the little tiny preview provided to you there, you can go to the person's actual profile page and see their recent activity. It will show up. You can also find out here as far as their discussions that they've been in and that kind of thing. So that is the one workaround there. It's a little bit of a shortcoming. I've brought it to Vanill's attention. Hopefully they can address that in a future release. Moderation's better, which is good because these are things that could be submitted for a number of things. This is the one that I reported as abuse. As you can see, this is why it was reported. It tells you the date it was reported and who it was posted by initially. And this one's awesome because you actually can click this arrow and see the actual post that was reported. So very handy there. One thing that's not working here is flag posts are not coming into the moderation queue. That was like where I typed in and I said, hey, this person's cheating, you should check it out. This is a bug, we're working on it now. I've submitted it to the vanilla team, so hopefully that's live and well before we flip the switch on Tuesday. But even if it's not, at least we do know that posts will be buried if they receive more than 5 reports from the community. So that's a good little safeguard there. So now that you've seen kind of what it looks like here, I want to walk you through what it looks like to actually go into someone's profile that you may have accidentally banned. So let's go ahead and actually I'm going to stay in the same view that you guys would expect to see. So we were in, let's test some stuff. So this is the user that we banned because they exceeded the warning limit. So this is what it looks like. You click the user's profile, you see, yep, it's the right one. This is the person that was banned. Why did they get banned? You can click that moderation link right over here. Once you click that, you'll actually see everything, all the moderation notes. So you see the note that I left, it was really bad and we banned them. But, we're just demoing it. Poor Megan at walktracko.com. Let's go ahead and reverse that one. And we're going to reverse this one. And now we can see, oh, look, she's back. So she can go ahead and resume. So that's a nice little safeguard there. You guys can go ahead and fix that, or I'm sorry, not fix it, but reverse any warnings whenever you need to, especially if there's ever conversations afterwards, that kind of thing. While I'm on the profile page, I want to point out a few things to you guys. So obviously we have the biographies here. The different reactions have a counter here, which is kind of fun. So you can see who's funny. Obviously this person is so not funny. You can see their badges, posts, points, roles, last active, all this good stuff. So all the handy information there. Badges go here. Moving forward, we will have the ability for people to request badges, and when that happens, I'll let you guys know. But right now you can just see the system ones. And before I leave off the moderation topic, the last kind of cool thing about vanilla is that you can actually mark people as trolls in the platform. And so what this does is that this person doesn't know that they're marked troll. They don't receive a notification or anything of that nature. They can continue to post and comment and reply to things, but no one else in the community sees it. So as far as they're aware, just no one's interested in anything they have to say. This lets us as moderators kind of stay out of arguments with particularly difficult people. Just mark them a troll if they're not bringing anything to the community. Maybe they're not being constructive, or maybe they're just cruel and unprofessional. Mark them as a troll, and eventually they'll go away. If for some reason you change your mind, there's a misunderstanding, I really just, I hope that we don't get to that point. I think this is a last case kind of situation. It's not something you start with, right? Because we have the warnings and all of that type of thing, and temporary bans. But if you change your mind for whatever reason, you can unmark them as a troll. So that's a nice thing as well. And that's just such a cool thing. I love that. I can't wait to see how it works out. One thing that I want to point out to you in the dashboard that I didn't do earlier is that you can have a log of everything that gets changed. So if you accidentally delete something, or maybe something was edited and you want to restore to the original version, you actually can. You can click it and hit restore. Opposite of that is you can delete it forever. So careful about deleting stuff forever. I think the forum will probably get bloated, and we'll have to address that eventually. But until we all kind of get the hang of things and how things work, let's keep things up in here until it becomes a problem. We'll address that when we get there. But just know that pretty much for most things here, there's a revert button, right? The only change in that is like private messages and one-to-one conversations you might have with people through the IM. So just keep that in mind. And by IM, I meant private messages like here. So if you do want to send someone a message, not related to moderation, whatever, just like in TechExams, you can send them a message through the platform. Looks just like this. So just, I think, what you would probably expect. If you guys have any questions, or if I missed anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can message me in the platform because I've turned notifications on for myself. I will be getting those directly in my email. So looking forward to answering any questions you guys have. I've kind of been learning on the fly, and I'm sure there are things that I still don't totally grasp. So, please let me know if you see anything funky, or if you're not sure something's working as intended. Definitely looking forward to your feedback as we grow and build the community. One kind of cool thing, this isn't something I can demo to you guys now, but there is ideation in Vanilla platform. So we can use that to let members vote on new category ideas, or maybe feature changes and things like that. So that's a good way we can address people's concerns or comments and feedback in an organized fashion, and really let the community kind of drive where the future heads. So again, any questions, please let me know. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to getting the first round of feedback from you guys, and I hope you enjoy the new platform.